Hi guys, welcome to Guru Beauty. I'm Jodie. Thanks so much for watching. Just posting a requested video of the look that I had on the other day when I posted the Inglot round pan eyeshadow haul that I did recently, and I think I did a fairly faithful recreation. The colours that I got from Inglot recently are here in this palette: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All the rest are matte colours, but these three and these three are all Inglots. I wanted to get some colours from Inglot since they are phasing out the round pan eyeshadows, and I managed to get those along with little mirrored trio compacts for about $21 for a trio. So it worked out to, I think they broke it down to $5.60 for each round shadow plus $4 something for the palette, or really if you just divided the total $21 by the 3 eyeshadows, you could say that they charge $7 for each of those round eyeshadows here in Australia and threw in the compact for free. You can probably, if you're buying a few more, I will say that I did go back while these round eyeshadows are still on sale, 30% off at least, I think. They do officially need to sell it to you in a palette, but if you're buying quite a few, you may be able to, like I did, get them alone, just to pop in a Z palette if you've already got a palette or something to store them in. And I think I got mine for around $6 each when I went back and bought, you know, a significantly greater amount of colours than I did here. So anyway, get yourself off to Inglot because they are discontinuing those round pans. As I said in the previous haul video, they do fit all your MAC palettes or Coastal Scents palettes if you've got those round empty palettes, and obviously you could stick anything in a Z palette. So you can also get a really cheap quad from Beauty Style. If you are in Australia, go to Priceline. A lot of Pricelines do have that beauty style little section, and they also sell round pan eyeshadows which fit the MAC eyeshadows, and you can get a quad from Beauty Style, an empty quad, for something like $4.95. So think about that too. I think that's it. But if you are interested in Inglot and you don't mind the round pans, hop over to them to see what kind of deal you can get if you're near a kiosk or a store, and I wish you luck. I would love to hear about the deals or bargains that you find there, and I would thoroughly recommend Inglot eyeshadows. I love them and they are excellent value, especially compared to MAC, especially here in Australia. That's about it from me. Hope that you enjoy this demonstration of how I achieve this look. If you do want to see it, keep on watching. So to get started, what I have already started with today, I've applied my usual skincare routine, including a makeup primer, and then I did a little cocktail. I've been into the foundation cocktails lately of the Chanel Matte Lumiere. At the moment I have that in the colour 40 Beige, and I've just lightened that up a little bit with some Revlon PhotoReady foundation in the vanilla, which is one of their lightest colours. Great colour though, and a great consistency whether I'm using a matte foundation or a more sort of glowy foundation. It's a great foundation to mix it with, that PhotoReady vanilla, at least for my skin tone. So I have also applied my Too Faced Shadow Insurance all over my lids. And lastly, I've also finished off my brows using some MAC Omega with a bit of Inglot Duraline on my brush. And at the moment, I'm just using a small L'Oreal Hip brush for my eyebrows. It's quite a stiff angled brush, really nice for sort of, you know, exact little hair-like strokes. So I will get started. I'm going to start off with the NYX Jumbo Eyeshadow Pencil in Milk, the infamous Milk Jumbo Eyeshadow Pencil. I'm going to put that not only here on my brow bone, but also in the, sorry, you can't see what I'm doing, also all over the inner corner. I always blend this in too much, I think, so that I can't see it. So I'm going to not blend it in as much as I normally would, I think, today. Going to share something a little bit later, talking about sort of looking brighter and wide awake. I've sort of noticed a bit of a technique when I use it. I'm quite impressed with how sort of bright and awake my eyes look. So I'll share that with you as we go along a little bit later, if you're interested in a new trick, or my new trick at least, to stay awake looking. Okay, so I've got that milk all over the brow bones there and my inner corners all blended in. So I'm going to start with, this is Inglot Matte 351. I do have this in the square palette, and I knowingly bought a duplicate when I was buying these round pans. It's beautiful. It is completely matte. So I'm going to start by just going over the milk, just to set that milk jumbo eyeshadow crown. I'm going to go over the brow bone here, inner corner, down underneath the inner corner. I think I wrecked my eyebrow there with the NYX Jumbo, but that's all right. I'll fix that later. The next color we're going to go in with is a beautiful color from Inglot. I think particularly, I would say, for probably brown eyes and maybe green eyes, but it's a beautiful shimmery gold. I would say it's probably quite similar to the MAC Nylon. This is Inglot's AMC Shine 45, and just on my finger, that's what it looks like. You can see the sheen. I did swatch these eyeshadows on the day when I posted the haul, but just a gorgeous light yellowy gold shimmer, just a stunning shimmer. So I'm going to apply that in the inner half of my eyelid. Just packing it on here with the E25 brush from Sigma. Okay, so we've got that shimmery gold on the inner half of the eyelid. Okay, this one is a pearl. It's Inglot Pearl 403. And just to swatch that on my finger, you can see it's much more of a vibrant, rich gold. This is it down here. And using the same E25 brush, we're going to pack that onto the outer half of the eyelid. Now that we've got the lighter yellow on the inner half and the darker yellow gold on the outer half, we're going to go in with a more of a crease color. This is Inglot's DS464, and DS464 is more of a sort of, it does have some sparkle to it. Obviously it's a DS, but it's an orangey rusty color, just beautiful. And I'm going to go in with, this is, let's see, this is Sigma's E35 tapered blending brush. I'm just going to tap the end in it. I'm going to tap off the excess because we want to sort of build this color and start off quite light. So tapping off the excess, starting just above the crease actually, really lightly. Small circles and windshield wiper motions, popping that sort of orange rusty color down. The contrast between the two colors is just gorgeous. Perfect for spring if you're looking for some colorful looks for spring. Same on the other side. And now with that orange laid down, I'm going to go in with the darkest color that I got out of the 6 that day, and this is the Inglot AMC 55. It's coming up quite brown on the monitor, but let's see if I can give you a better idea of what it looks like. It's definitely I think it is coming up quite brown. It's definitely got some red tones. To me it's like a brick red with purpley tones, more purpley tones than what's coming up on the monitor. But I'm going to go in with the Sigma SS275. It's the angled fluff brush, I think, angled eyeshadow brush, something like that. Now using these colours, I'm being very careful now to sort of tap off the excess there. We're going to create, just sort of define that crease a little bit more. So we're creating a bit of an angle out here, and then also just defining that crease a little bit more with this darker colour. We want all these colours to sort of blend into one to create a beautiful shape to the eye where the colours all still really complement each other. Okay, and now going back to the 224 equivalent, or the E35, I'm just going to really lightly, this obviously still has some of the orange left on it, holding the brush really lightly because I don't really want to spread that dark colour around much more. I just want to blend that in with the orange. Just blend that off, and this is what I'm trying to get better at. I think I've been a little bit too heavy-handed with my blending sometimes. I've been, you know, holding right up there to the near the ferrule of the brush and pressing quite hard just to blend, get all the colours blended in. But while you don't want any lines, I think it's important not to get things too muddied. So that's what I've been trying to develop there with my application of my eyeshadow. I'd love to hear what you've been trying to get better at. Now getting a different brush here again with the AMC 55, that's the darker colour that we just put in the crease. I'm going to use a pencil brush here, an SS 219, and I'm actually just going to, definitely still tapping off the excess, just place a little bit under the lower lash line. Just in the outer half. Using that same brush, I'm just wiping that off on a towel quickly. I am going to go back in with the second yellow I used, the Pearl 403, and using that same brush again, as I said, that I've just brushed off on a towel. Just going to sort of do the inner half here, under my lid, under my lash line. Next thing I am going to do is grab the Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On pencil. This is in Baked. I do have a backup of this because I'm such a fan. It's a lovely, you can see here, gold coloured pencil. Wet n Wild makes, I know with their holiday collection they made a beautiful gold. Milani makes a lovely gold. I think CoverGirl has a gold. There's lots of lovely gold eyeliner pencils out there. Definitely feel free to use whichever one of those that you have. I've got gold eyeshadow coming off on my contacts. So I'm just using that to apply to my waterline. I've got to say about the Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On pencils, they do glide on. I'll give them that. It doesn't matter. They don't really get too old from my experience that they don't glide on. They're really nice and creamy. I wouldn't call them 24/7 liners. I'd call them probably 8/7 liners. That for me, especially in the waterline, we're looking at probably 8 hours. If you're lucky of wear, 6 to 8 hours, I would say. So there are definitely longer lasting waterline products, but the colors, you know, I got the 15-year anniversary set of these Glide On pencils. The colors are absolutely beautiful and the application is really nice. So you can always pop one in your handbag and take it with you if you don't mind touching up your waterline. But we're working on that, and we'll have an eyeliner head to head coming up sometime soon on my channel. So now I'm coming up to the bit where I show you the trick that I really like to do to help make my eyes look wide and awake, is to go in with a lighter, almost sort of shimmery color. And I do have fine lines under my eyes, but I do apply concealer after this. So, you know, I still only pop it pretty close to the eye. The concealer covers anything that probably might be more in the fine line area that you don't want to exaggerate, but give this a go and see if it works for you. I'm going back to that lighter color, the AMC Shine 45. That's that first goldy yellow color that I placed on the inner eyelid. And what I'm going to do, making sure I don't have too much excess, is just in the middle, underneath where I've popped that eyeshadow color, I'm just going to dab a bit of that color. And I really find that when the light picks up that bit in the center of my eye, it really helps me look more awake. So I'm just putting that in the center under my lash line. And you can see what you think about it when you see the final look. So I did on that day line the upper lash line with black eyeliner, and I did that on the day with using the Inglot Duraline. So again, I know you saw this on the haul. I'm just taking out the dropper. I don't actually need to squeeze the dropper at all, just the product that's on the end of the wand. I can just pop a bit on my hand, you can see it there. And I'm using the Chanel Ligne Cake Eyeliner. I'm just going to be going in with the regular black, and you can see that I try to stick to one side when I am using a product here like the Duraline. So I'm going to start by dipping in my angled liner brush into my Duraline on my hand, and then taking that to the Cake Eyeliner, really working the brush around to pick up some good colour saturation on my brush. And I'm going to start in the centre, just making small strokes. Turn the brush around as I head out to the outer corner, picking up a little bit more product. I'm going to create a bit of a flick here, hopefully following the same angle of my lower lash line. See the line that's created here by my lower lash line? That's what I want to continue out with my wing. Getting those angles, you know, how you like it, can be quite a challenge, but practice, practice, practice makes perfect. Don't be afraid to practice. I'm just going to go in here. I have had eyelash extensions for probably the last 2 weeks. I'm going in for refills sometime in the next week, but I wasn't sure what to expect. They are sort of quite wispy. Some don't know what they're doing and they go off in different directions, but I did get some special mascara for extensions. You can't use waterproof makeup with extensions because you can't use oil. They actually stick, you know, false individual lashes to your individual lashes, and if you cleanse off eye makeup with any kind of oil-based product, it ruins the adhesive, and your fake eyelashes will fall off, and even worse, pull the real lash with it. You don't want that happening. So, it does take a little bit of getting used to, but I really like them. I really like the effect that I've been given. Probably wouldn't keep them on forever, but it was really fun to give them a try. And as I said, I am going in for refills. We'll see how we finish up in a month or two's time if I've got big gaps. I remember a blog post of Lollipop 26 when she did something with her lashes. I'm not sure if she got lash extensions, but I remember the before and after photos, and she had huge gaps in her lashes. They looked terrible. Whatever it was that she did must have been extensions. I thought it was like a lash growth serum or something that went awry, but we'll see if that happens to me. Hopefully not, but I can always whack on falsies. Hair grows back, usually, if you're lucky. So I can always whack on some falsies if I have an eyelash disaster. But I got a good deal. I think I paid $39 for extensions on a special deals.com.au deal. And you'll also notice that my hair is a lot darker. I dyed it last night. I'm just sick of looking at my hair looking green on the camera monitor when I'm filming, and those highlights were a little bit chunkier than what I'd asked for. I like the overall colour, and I like the sort of ombre effect. I don't mind that. I don't go to the hairdresser all that often, so I don't mind having, growth and all that stuff. That's the price you pay for not going to the hairdresser very often. That's fine. But it's a lot darker than I expected. I wanted more like a mahogany brown or a chocolate brown. It was called like double espresso, but it's come out a lot darker. But my hair is, pretty porous. It takes colours and then it lets go of colours really easily. So I think, in a week's time after a few washes, it's not going to be as dark, and hopefully it'll settle into something closer to what I wanted, or maybe I could go over with a bit of a red just to get that warmth back into it. I was just after more of a chestnutty colour, and it's quite dark and cool based right now. So we'll see. So I'm going in with the mascara, and again, not because I really like it, but because they recommend this Blink Lash Stylist Noir Mascara. I'll be right back after I've applied that. Okay, now I'm back having applied my mascara to the upper and the lower lash lines, and I realised I forgot to use my 6th colour. This is my last pop of colour because my eyes don't have enough colour going on with them right now, do they? This is Inglot's AMC 74, and you can see it's just a really nice, vibrant sort of grapey purple. I think that's gonna come up on the monitor there. Yeah, that's it there, just a really nice grapey purple. And I'm going to go back in with that angled eyeliner brush from Sigma. This is the SS275. Just dipping the very edge in there, tapping it off. And I'm actually just going to pop that in the very outer corner of my lower eyelid, just for another bit of colour interest. There you go, so that is the eyes finished. Now because we're going so sort of full on with the eyes, it's just a very vibrant eye colour. I am going to finish off the rest of the face sort of with more neutral colours. So the first thing I'm going to do is go in with my concealer. This is the Eve Pearl Salmon Concealer in light medium, and I'm just going to grab a mix of those medium and light colours using a concealer brush, just one of those flat concealer brushes. Just going to dab that where there's darkness, patting that colour in. So I've placed it, and then I'm going to go in with a clean finger and just blend that in. Might get a little bit more light from that duo on my finger. I think doing this with your finger as well, particularly with the Eve Pearl, helps to probably pick up some of the residual oils. It's such a creamy product that you almost sort of can do with picking up some residual oils that are left from the concealer under your eye. So creamy and lovely. Thank you, Amy. She picked this up from the New York makeup show for me. Any Aussies who are watching who want to get their hands on Eve Pearl Salmon Concealer can do so at makeupgeek.com. Last I looked, it was available in her store. I'm going to set that concealer now with the Benefit Powder Flash. Here's the powder flash here in the little sphere, and I'm using a fluffy brush. This is like the SS224. Just getting a little bit on the end of my brush. I always sort of use the lid to swirl that into the brush, tap off the excess, and then I just kind of pat it on top of that concealer. You don't always have to set your concealer, but when I'm using the Eve Pearl, I do. Next I'm going to just sort of set the T-zone with some Rimmel Stay Matte pressed powder, just using my MAC 136 brush, which I think is discontinued, but it's a really lovely powder brush. I really like it. But any powder brush is fine, just pack it on rather than ruin your foundation sweeping it. Now, sort of keeping it neutral, I'm going to go in with NARS Cream Blush in Penny Lane. Penny Lane is just a really nice neutral colour. I'm using Sigma's Duo Fibre Powder Blush Brush F15. Just dabbing the end in that product. Just sort of applying it here at the cheek area. Just to give my face some warmth. About to run out of memory cards, so I will do the rest of my highlighting and lipstick, and I'll be right back to show you the finished look. Okay guys, so this is the finished look. I think it's a pretty faithful recreation of the look that I had in the Inglot haul. I really hope that it inspires you to try something a little bit different. You know, I don't often wear oranges, but I'm really happy with this look, and I would wear orange with, you know, maybe some browns and some purples next time. So I'm really pleased that I sort of went out of my comfort zone and got those different colors from Inglot since they were on sale. And you know, at the end of the day, it's hair, it grows back. You can dye over it and correct mistakes, or cut it off and it'll grow back. It's makeup, you should have fun with it. We all want to look good and not be laughed at, but at the same time, have fun, have a play. It's what I love about makeup, it's just that you can really play with it. It's so much fun. And I hope that this inspires you. If this is too crazy and not your bag, baby, then, you know, maybe take one little idea that I've used. So, you know, maybe try that lighter shimmery color just under the center of your lash line here. Maybe just try a pop of color right here in the outer lower lash line, and keep, you know, a fairly neutral eyeshadow color on top. But just, you know, hopefully you were able to take something from it. Anyway, hope that you enjoyed. Hope you have a beautiful day, and I would love to hear if you take anything else from this video. I'd love to hear what inspiration you draw. Have a beautiful day. We'll see you again really soon. Bye.